Hi guys, and welcome to our hangout. We are entering the enchanted world of Zerner and Monte Farber. You can see on the image to the right there everything that they have on show. I was actually thinking before we came on this live how I would best present, because when we have guests on, I always think of something to say. But there really aren't words big enough for the respect that we have for you, Amy and Monty. You and the enchanted world has and is bringing so much magic, not only into the divination world, but also the world as a whole. I personally want to thank you. I know Jane and Maria want to thank you too for coming here and talking with us. For those watching, enchantedworld.com is the website that you are looking for. Hello.
Hi. Thank you so much.
Yeah, lovely things to hear. Thank you so much. We're having a great time doing it, so it's nice to know that it's appreciated.
It's absolutely appreciated. I mean, we could talk all day on the artware, the artistic creations of Amy, also the astrology and the courses, the books, the oracle, the artwork behind there. We really wouldn't have enough time on our live to go through everything that you have done. But what we can do is have a look at some of the things that are coming up for you in spring, one of which is the board that are releasing in spring.
It's a crystal spirit talking board, and it's a beautiful mandala with crystals and words and numbers, and it's sort of we've done 4 talking boards, and this might be the most beautiful one.
It sure is gorgeous, and it's
really
all
crystal energy and crystal magic.
And for those of you who've had our Psychic Circle or the Pathfinder or the Enchanted Spell board, this one doesn't have any ridges because it's a fabric board. Technology is advanced to the point where it can be put in a box and come out without any folds or anything, and it moves really well.
It's a red feather. I know you guys work with red feather, and
yes,
they're so nice to work with, and we love coming up with new tools because we all need a variety for whatever mood we're in, right?
Right. And for those of you coming to Reader Studio, we'll have it at Reader Studio, right?
Absolutely. I was going to say that for anybody wanting to meet Amy and Monty in real life, we're fortunate enough to be going to Reader's Studio in New York, 24th to the 29th of April.
I'm jealous.
Can't wait.
Bring me something, please.
Yeah. I'll send you a gifting.
And astrologically, they really picked a great time for the Reader Studio because that's the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, which happens every 12 or 13 years.
Which will be positive.
Yeah, it's one of the most positive astrological aspects is Jupiter conjunct Uranus. Sudden good fortune.
We need that, right?
We definitely need that. And obviously you have your astro reports on Instagram. We see each week, and we follow the words on.
I do too.
Right. I think Gail Garcia posted it. I survived the Pluto-Mars conjunction. I think that would make a great T-shirt.
You really make them very you personalize what you do when you write your astrological one, and you bring a bit of yourself into that, and you say, well, this is why, and you always bring these little stories in, and they all make sense. And it's not like you're forcing it on anyone, but you're saying, well, this is what's happening, and this is how I'm going to deal with it, and it's up to you how you want to, but this is what's on the table, and it's really refreshing to actually see that.
Well, thank you. I honed my craft on my police sergeant father. You got to make it simple, and you got to make it make sense, or else they're going to come back at you.
That's very, very, very true. So we also have obviously the Zerner Farber Tarot, which I'm picking up in April at Reader's Studio. Thank you.
Yeah. This is we came out with the Enchanted Tarot in 1990. All the artwork is my tapestry work.
Oh, okay.
And then the cards are a little bigger, so we wanted to do a smaller version. And it comes with the books.
Wait,
I'm
I'm doing my prestidigitation at this point. Wait.
Can't see.
Oh, that's the wrong deck. Sorry, we have so many decks. I'm picking up. Oh, there it is. Yeah, these are the big sizes compared to the little sizes.
Wow.
And upside down, of course.
Well, we like to make people happy, so they complain about the big cards, so we make little cards.
And then they'll complain about the little cards.
We have little hands. We have baby hands. We need small decks.
Well, everyone's an expert on paper quality.
They're all everyone's
varnish,
Everyone's a production manager now. But we're like I said before, we're having a great time. Amy and I, we've known each other since 1974, and we've had this. It's funny. We've done all these things, but what we're going to be remembered for, and what the documentary about us is basically, is the cute couple. That's what we'll be remembered, which is not bad, actually. To be remembered for love is like, and that's really at the heart of all the things we do, is Amy's art and our love for each other. And I think that's why, Jane, that's why I write the way I do, because as you know, when you have love, it sort of shaves all the rough edges off of things, and you can afford to be honest.
I was just going to actually ask that, because you said you met in 1976, and that was actually 3 years before I was born, and I know how old I am. What is the secret, would you say, for like that amount of love and longevity to last? Because in this day and age, it is quite extraordinary and a rarity, and it's something that is so beautiful.
Well, the short answer is marry her, but the other, when I met Amy, this is my standard line. She was studying astrology and the tarot, and I was studying Amy, and I thought it was all a bunch of nonsense, but I figured I'd learn it. But that has really been a strong backbone to our love affair, is tarot and astrology.
And wanting to grow that way, and wanting to understand how the universe works, how people work. I mean, those tools give you such a great understanding of human nature and psychology. And I think once you forgive people, and you want to look deeper into why people do what they do, and we share that interest.
And I think I was committed to growing. I was reading a lot of like the Seth material and Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda, and meditating. And they say when the student is ready, the teacher appeared. And when I would talk to Amy, I would get incredible honesty and intelligence, and her mother, who she lived with, who we miss every day, was Amy squared. She's just an amazing person. And so I was very blessed by that. Plus, I was seeking to get rid of the rough edges on myself, so I was able to do it. And then I started doing I moved in with her. Amy grew up out here in the Hamptons. And we would go to parties, and people say, we really like you and everything, but we wish you could do that astrology when you weren't here. We wish we could do that. So I invented karma cards, and that took off. And whereas as a musician, that didn't take off, but karma cards took off, and we've just kept going, building on the success of that.
I think when you're creative, that always brings newness into your relationship, and it's great respect and appreciation for each other's gifts. It's key.
Yep. They have a whole book about it. I'm reading it.
Oh, no.
There's an actual instruction manual here.
Thank you.
Which
the whole first part of the book is about being alone and coming to terms with that and understanding yourself, because if you're looking for someone to fill those gaps, it's not the right approach. You have to feel whole within yourself.
And I'm looking at today's astrology chart, for where the planets are right now. I don't know if you guys are into astrology, but Venus and Pluto are together. Great day for compulsive love.
By the way.
On Friday, so.
Yeah, on Freitag's Day. 00 Aquarius, and Mars is right there. So today's a great day to have an affair, everybody, in case you're wondering about that.
Friday.
Friday, exactly. That's I read that for the first time today too.
Because I used to.
Yeah, so I mean, it's so classically Dickens' Tale of Two Cities, best of times, worst of times. There's so many wonderful things going on, like your show, like your organization.
People that are interested in all this stuff, right? That it's grown so tremendously.
And that undercuts all the negativity in the world. It's like we're like Army Rangers. We've been dropped behind enemy lines, and what we're doing is loving our way back to the front line and empowering people as we go to make their own decisions. And that's how the world's going to change.
I believe that. I really do, because I think, there's so much, and people can say about all that's wrong in the world, but there's a lot of right in the world too, and a lot of right in the way that actually people can be and people want to be, and those rights. There is a tremendous potential to create such a big change on a, not, it all starts within.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's like a little ripple that spreads out on the water when you throw that little pebble. That pebble, and it ripples out, and it affects everyone. And I think, it's important to be aware of how much amazingness there is. There's beauty in absolutely everything, everywhere. And I sometimes think that we can take that a little bit for granted.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
do they ever? I mean, and another thing that people don't realize is I was born in 1950, and it was a dark time. It was 5 years after World War II, and the wars, the way right now you read the newspapers about how everybody's against wars and against all this nonsense. That's wonderful that people are against it. When I was growing up, you would have never seen people against things like that. You would have to be 100% behind every war, every negative thing. You'd have to, because people were coming out of literally the dark ages. We are coming out of the dark ages even now, and the fact that people, everyone's mad at the boomers, but we stopped the Vietnam War, and plus we had that question authority aspect to the 60s when we were in our teens. And I'm always astounded that people the people that no longer question authority, because we always do. But now we're the authorities, like the three of you are authorities in what you do. We're changing the narrative about what's powerful, what's religion, what is love, what is making an impact, because the younger people, like you guys, you want to make an impact. That's like when you read studies and surveys of what do the younger people want to do. They want to make an impact, and this is how you make an impact.
It's the age of Aquarius, so
yeah,
there's a lot of big change.
A lot of big change. And now that Pluto's in Aquarius, it'll toe dip back a little bit into Capricorn just to kick our ass one more time. but by the end of this year, it's going to be in Pluto's going to be in Aquarius till 2040.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't want to be USA centric, but the United States is having its Pluto return, and Pluto takes 240 years to go around the solar system. And so no empire in the history of the world has ever survived their Pluto return without transformation, without fundamental transformation. I mean, you can see it in the Roman Empire, which lasted a long time, but it changed every 240 years. Republic to the Caesars to a million Caesars. So this is a very important time to be alive, and shows like this are important to keeping the troops not entertained but informed. And it's sometimes it's lonely doing what we all do, and it's good to know that there's other people. That's why your association is so important.
Well, that's the amazing thing about social media, is that we have been able to find others like us, others who want to have a voice as well. And I also find that today you find a lot more people are reading or using their cards on bigger issues, rather than just the standard, does he love me? Will he come back? People are really, last week we had a question, somebody asked about Putin's character or something along those lines. So people really are using divination for way more, I think, than what we have in the past.
Yes, and people say, well, what's the tarot? And for years I've been saying, well, it was the first search engine. you ask a question, you get an answer, and then you have to figure out what the hell the search engine is telling you, because usually it's like, what does that mean? But then you can get it out of there. It requires you to expand your mind a little bit, but we don't think of it as woo woo at all. And I have to tell you, I read for a lot of people that have not just money, they have funds, they're the heads of funds. I'm sure it's the same with you all. You read for people that read for other people in a certain way, where they're leaders, thought leaders. I read for psychiatrists.
They're not asking, will he come back to?
No, they're trying to figure out why do they do the stupid things they do. But I don't know.
But you learn as much from people that you read for. I mean,
try to.
That's
Yeah.
a beautiful thing.
I don't know if you have this happen also, but I like the clients that come to you and say, I'm thinking of doing this. What do you think? Rather than the ones that say, I just did this.
Yeah.
Is it going to work out? And I'm like, why didn't you come to me before?
But I also like the clients that come to you and say, I'm going to do this thing regardless of what the card says. But can they give me an advice on how to do it in the best way, even if it's a stupid idea?
Yes.
Wow. I haven't met that person. I can't wait.
And then they come and they say, I should have listened to you. That else.
And then my other favorite one is, you won't believe this, but the thing you told me actually happened. I'm saying, what do you mean I won't believe it? What do you think I do this for?
Yeah.
I say, if I won't believe it, who's going to believe it? Of course I believe it.
That's so funny.
I'm sure we could all write a book on secrets of a tarot reader,
Yeah.
It would be great.
Yes.
It would
I think some of it you couldn't print.
Well, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Oh my God. Right. So I love doing readings, and with my new camera, I can actually, if somebody wants to get a reading, I can actually show them the cards so they know I'm not making it up.
We got a
So if anybody would like a reading, pop your question in or just put a thumbs up and we will read for you.
I want to read.
Maria wants the reading.
Ask away. I love it.
I want a reading. I want a reading because I am in an endless battle to get my driver's license at the tender age of 31, but that's another story, okay? And it's the third time that I go to exam this Tuesday. I'm going to take the test for the third time, and I feel so bad about it.
No,
So,
I know how to do this. I don't even need the cards for this, because
tell me.
when I was getting my license, a friend of mine whose father was a homicide detective told me the secret, and it worked.
What is the secret? Please tell me. I'm desperate. So I'll take whatever.
No matter what you do, turn your head a third time. In other words, if you're going to make a
Keep
left
looking.
turn, go like that, go like that, go like that, go like that. And as you're turning, do it again.
They know you're really careful.
They pass you. I swear to God, it really
Plus, I got the Three of Wands, which means yes.
Yeah, and it means opportunity. So this is the one. The third time's the charm, or the fourth time is
That's
the
right.
charm for you.
I hope so. I hope so. Because last time was a massacre.
But I'm telling you, that business of turning your head, it works, because then they know they don't have to brace for impact when they're driving with you.
Okay, I will take that advice. I will do whatever.
Yeah.
At this point.
Are you nervous?
More than nervous. I'm like, here we go again. Kind of,
I think you're gonna make it this time.
Yeah, just do everything slower than you think you should, and turn your head a lot more than you think you should. I'm telling
okay. I'll just drive like this.
They love it. They love pass right there. I just checked the box.
I am failing to find your names, Facebook users. If you could really help me out and put your name with your question, that would be awesome. StreamYard sometimes throws a spanner in the works and won't give us your names.
Can I ask,
Wow.
because I've got an opportunity with Amy and Monty in front of me to have a question.
Sure.
And that's not very often that you get that, and I'm totally fangirling and jumping onto Maria's train with that one.
Sorry, everybody watching.
What do you want to know? How can we help?
So I've got an option of thinking about two things. Well, I'm actually doing two things. Which one should I focus most intently on?
You're going to give it a yes?
Yes. Owen,
which is a Celtic divination system.
and runes being the second.
So Owen or runes, which would be the best?
The first one. The first. Oh, you got it too. Yeah, I got the
I got the High
Pentacles.
Priestess. So I think you're so attuned. I think that one's like ripe and very ready to come out of you.
And the one for, I got 2 10s. I got the 10 of Pentacles for the first one, and I got the 10 of Wands for the second one.
I got Sacrifice. So that can mean like, if you do that one first, you're sacrificing this. This one's ready to come. The first one.
Yeah.
It's so good. You have such intuition about that. Does that make sense?
It really does, because I was struggling which one I should focus on first.
Yeah, and also when you're talking about the runes, then you have to sort of overcome the Ralph Bloom book and all the other, stuff. He was a very interesting person. Is he alive still?
Ralph sort of made it popular. I don't know if you ever saw his book.
The Book of Runes, it's called. It was made by Edison Sod Editions, were book packagers out of England, and that was at the time we did karma cards with them. And so we met him in Malibu. He was a very odd character, but I think the first one that you mentioned blew up.
The Celtic one.
Yeah, blew up in my mind also. So that was good.
Okay.
In a good way. I don't mean blew up like. Sorry, that's the problem with idiomatic expressions.
So we have another one for the two of you. Glenda would like to know, what's the outcome of her husband's current recording project?
It's so weird. I got such a great feeling from that. I felt like I wanted to hear it.
I get the princess.
Hear it.
I got the Princess of Swords, which means lots of writing, lots of listening. I think Glenda is very involved. Maybe Glenda is writing.
Yeah, who's writing the words? Because this would mean that words would be important, right?
Well, she wants to know what the outcome is.
The outcome, okay. Well, that could be reviews,
That's true. Oh, so I got this independent. This is from our Intuition Oracle. It says independent, so I assume that's his independent label, which means he can do what he wants and how he wants. Hope that makes sense. And there's a flute. That angel fairy is playing a flute.
Yeah, so put a flute on it. That I spoke like a real movie music producer. It's like more cowbell.
Put some flute on it. Okay. So we have a few coming in. I'm just trying to find the ones with names. We have, this is a meaty one. I'd like to know if I should change job locations. Things have changed significantly at my present place.
Well, I will see what the cards say, but as a psychic person, I heard do not change. I heard no to but according to the cards, whatever Amy says goes. You were asking about the secret of a happy marriage, Jane. There's a secret.
So the Eight of Pentacles.
My husband knows that.
See, right, Maria?
That my husband knows that.
That's what I'm saying.
Whatever I say goes.
Exactly. He's a smart man.
The question, I think this person's a perfectionist. So in other words, she's saying, I forget the name of the person. Would it be better if they started a new job at a different location, right? But It's like they're perfectionists no matter Bandit and Suki's aunt.
Okay. I love that.
I think you're perfectionist, so you're gonna have the same issue here or there because other people might not be up to your expectations, or not that you're wrong, but
I agree with you, and of course, because I ain't stupid. And after they go home, I'm going to still be here. But but I just want to say, and since I have three professional readers here, have you ever experienced someone getting an answer that they don't necessarily like because the cards or their guardian angels are challenging them and giving them an answer that they have to push against, or how do you feel when
So it makes you really come to a resolution more about how you feel about the whole situation
to get you off the fence,
right?
And sometimes you get an answer that you don't like, or at least me. So
well, I would say with the Kipper cards and Lenormand cards in particular, they can really highlight what needs worked on and what you are doing wrong, and exactly all the processes you need to go through to make yourself whole before you actually embark on what it is that you're wanting to do.
yes.
So I think they bring up a lot of self-work within them at times.
That's wonderful.
Right. And I think what just happened with Bandit and Sookie's aunt, testing my remembering, because I'm 74. What happened with her is the cards, in my experience, are saying that's not the issue.
Right.
Changing location is not the issue. The issue is the perfectionism that you picked up on, and the fact that I heard no, meaning that's not going to change anything. Going to, so you sort of have to rise above and like an eagle and soar way above the question, because sometimes the question people ask is not the question the cards answer, in my experience.
I think sometimes when you lay the cards and you do have a mega positive direction, if you have that within yourself that says, wait a minute,
yeah,
that perhaps is an answer to the question, but has my client asked the right question?
Exactly.
Yeah, because formulating the question is where it all starts. It's like, because then you're gearing really what's your intention and your focus on this.
Teaching this week, the Lennon class I was teaching, and one of the students asked the question which I laid for to demonstrate the techniques that we were doing, and the answer was about her workplace and what the outlook looked like for the workplace, and it looked like redundancies. And so then I thought, well, is my client going to be made redundant? Is it something within the workplace that is being cut, for example? So I laid on a second question, but then I laid on a third question to make sure I had clarified what I was doing and what the answer was for the querent, because the querent just wanted a general what's happening.
Yeah, because sometimes when you're in the middle of the situation, you're taking care of the battles, but the war has a completely different shape to it.
Exactly. The war may not affect you personally in those redundancies, for example, but it affects the workplace.
Right. And for those in America, redundancy means you've been laid off because your job is like somebody else's. No, we watch a lot of British television, so we know. We're just translating for the Americans, two cultures separated by a common language. I forget.
We were talking about that earlier.
The word spelt, we will use the word spelt, and it's spelled in US American
So
English.
your ending's slightly different to the UK endings.
Yeah.
In a past participle. So we were actually talking about that today, because as British people and working for US publishers is something that we need to be aware of as well.
It's a fight what to put it in when you're used to English that you're
UK
writing,
English.
and then you're putting it to like red feather when it's got to be in American English, and it's Z's, the letter Z's in there, and U's are removed, and it's like,
I know. It
was the opposite for Monty. His first book had a UK publisher.
Yeah, karma cards. And then I wrote something about the sun. The sun burns 5,000 tons of helium a second. That's a lot of gas to pump. And they sent it back with a red circle around and say, what does that mean? And then they said, well, we pull up for petrol. We don't pump gas in the UK. So
yes, that's very true.
As an English as a second language person, the challenge also is when you do both indistinctly.
I can't imagine. It just shows you how good your brain is. And in my opinion, the hardest word in the English language is screen, because it has like 10 different meanings.
It's true.
I actually saw a post. I can't remember what word it was, but it was a swear word that was put into about 20 different contexts.
I saw that. I really wish I had copied that down because it was so good. It was just, oh my God. I think it was the word. Well, forget about that. But anyway.
It's kind of crap, wasn't it? Holy crap. And lots of different types of crap. Every type of crap.
Exactly. It was so good. I wish I'd had it in high school. I would have been the most popular guy.
So Bandit and Suck Its Ant said, I've learned to listen to the angels and I'm aware of signs, so I usually throw some cards down.
That's excellent.
So we don't know if we were right or not.
But the thing is that you have to know what the cards are trying to tell you. And I think in my mind, I always see the high priestess. When I see the high priestess come up, then I know that I've reached the answer that's accurate. Because, yeah.
Our dog's been biting on the fairy door.
We have a fairy door and she's pulled it off the wall and started biting it.
Aww.
Oh, God.
The fairies are not going to be impressed.
Is that a sign?
The oracle, the dog oracle.
We did that.
Write that down.
We did that.
Actually, we did the animal powers.
No, we did the dog oracle, but we didn't sell it.
I have Agrippa added his own artwork to the card yesterday. I caught one of my cats chewing my new oracle.
It's a message, right?
Right. The cards are now marked on your behalf.
Yeah. It's like, do you want to become taxidermy cat? Because I can make that happen.
So we have a great question for you two of the cards. Creative flow and or blocks within the next 3 months.
That is a great question.
That is a great question. And I'm going to bring up the Creativity Oracle.
Where is it? Okay. This one is one that we made that's 80 cards all about the creative process.
And that's available with Red Feather.
Yes.
Amazon too.
And God bless them. They love to make the golden edges on the card.
Well, you asked for the block.
Oh, I love the edges.
Thank you. We do too. And it was a total surprise. We didn't even ask them. That's when it's really great, when you don't have to beg. Okay, so now we're going to, I'm doing the block?
Yes.
Okay, the block. Contest. Well, that if ever there was a block, it's contest. This is.
You mean the competition?
Be yourself fully, and you are without compare. A true winner of the only contest that matters. And I'm not making it up. It does say that.
So that's the block.
Yeah.
Maybe too. She compares herself.
Yeah. Don't compare yourself to anyone.
So for the flow, I get this 10 of swords, which is a difficult card. And so I think for what your inspiration is, it has
sad
to do
time.
with wounds, sadness. I think that'll be very healing for your creative flow to actually tackle those intense kind of emotions. Maybe you've lost somebody, or there's something from your childhood that was traumatic. That's what I get for your creative flow. So
and there's actually
I deal with that sometimes. If I've been through something sad or some grief, I put it into my artwork, and it's tremendously healing.
Amy only does self-portraits when she's sad, so
wow.
it's that kind of thing.
So luckily, I haven't done that many.
Right, but listen, this person, you're so lucky. There's 5 readers here.
Yes.
And it's like a barbershop, 5 barbers, no waiting. So what do you all see to that?
Yeah, let's do ours.
Let's.
In fact,
I'm using Lenormand. Maria, what do you have with you?
I have the Southern Gothic Oracle from my friend Stacy, because it's a favorite lately.
Gorgeous.
So is it one for blocks, one for
blocks and flow. We're just letting you show off your decks a bit, Amy and Mike.
But I love when different people pull cards on one question. It's always a connection where the answer comes through that's sort of reinforces each other.
Well, got a circle.
Funny thing is, I actually have the same way around as Amy does. I have positive in the blocks and I have negatives in the flow.
Oh, yeah.
Or as far as blocks are concerned, I would suggest you struggle a little bit to maybe put your stuff out there into the world, birth that, or even stand up and say, I'm creating this and I want to share it with everybody. So your blockage kind of comes from that not wanting to spread it too far or struggling with that. When it comes to flow, I also have grief out of the first card, but it is recognizing that grief, working with that grief and pushing forward with it. So if you are feeling anything within yourself at the moment, use that grief positively, especially with moon in the center, to actually flow through and experience it, because only through experiencing the grief will the grief lighten.
It's so interesting, right? How it ties in.
I actually mind it the exact same way as well. Or for blocks, I actually got strengthened. So it's about the strength of your own self. So realizing your own strength. And in this essence, I would say that actually not recognizing your own strengths is what is blocking you. You don't realize your own potential. You don't realize just how strong you are. And that is your barrier to yourself in that sense, because it's blocking your own amazingness, let yourself shine, which was what Monty was saying. And the actual, for your creativity, it's barriers like a negative, physical block. So it's about using those blocks, using those experiences within your life that haven't worked out or that have been negative in some way, affected you or held you back, and using them creatively to your advantage to actually, put that process forward.
Our dogs are all fighting around us now. Maria?
Yeah, so sorry. For the creative part, I got black coffee, and this is a card that I quite like because it is about, when you are not fully awake and you just need that shot in order to make things happen, like the necessary stuff. This is not your after lunch leisure type of coffee. This is your, I'm going to drink this black bitter coffee and wake up and do what I need to do with the very basics to human and function throughout the day. So it is more of a do what you can with what you have, go back to basics if you need, and push through that and create. And this gives the sensation as well that maybe you don't have to see everything that you create as an end product. Not everything needs to see the light. You only need to get awake and get into that process, and that will helping you get into that kind of flow. Now, with in the part of blockages, I have roots in here, and this card is related to support, to what keeps you rooted. And I would say this card in two different ways. One, maybe what you are trying to do does not have a lot of history behind it, or is somewhat new, and does not have something to compare it with, and you are not quite sure how that's going to be received, and that could be playing against you. Or alternatively, this can have to do with a sensation of isolation with what you are doing that might be making you question your your worth as an artist, or might make you question if you are taking the right path when comparing yourself to other people in your circle, and that is something that is not really useful for you, or is not going to help you in your process. So I would say that this, together with black coffee, is a call to discard those doubts so that you can continue on.
Now that
Sorry,
was
a lot. Sorry.
that was master class from Five different people. That was my entertainment. I wish I could watch this show
She
all
probably
the time.
pulled the covers over her head, you know.
Well, you know, I think personally that one of the things that separates a good reader from a bad is when a good reader can deal with the negative cards and get something positive out of it that can help you. When we were on television, Amy and I were the first people to sell tarot cards on national television in the United States on QVC and HSN in the history of the world. We didn't take the negative cards out. We left the negative cards in, and the first person we ever were with got almost every one of them. And the camera would zoom in on the Three of Swords, which in Amy's in the Enchanted Tarot. You can tell what it is. You know? And she was like, "Oh." We'd say, "Well, this looks like you're a little sad." And she was like, "Great, this would be great at parties." You know how they are on those shopping channels. But people want the bad news as well, because they want to know how to deal with it, because nothing comes without strings attached, I think.
Which
Personally.
the tarot so beautifully describes that, right?
Yeah, and plus
everything in life is there.
And plus all your different decks are really awesome. I'm thinking about black coffee. That's so cool.
Oh, this deck is wonderful. It's one of my favorites.
What is that again?
Yeah, it's the Southern Gothic Oracle, and it has another one, well, kind of companion, or it can be used separately, which is the Southern Botanic Oracle.
It's pretty cool.
Yes, both are beautiful.
They should add these wild cabbage to the oracle if we ever do one about pests. We built this thing. It's a wild cabbage, and it's like this big, but now it's like twice the size. It's a cut flower, something that grows when it's dead. There has to be a Lenormand about that, right?
Yeah.
It's incredible. Today is an incredible day astrologically, by the way, everybody. It's a great day that we're having this meeting. Jupiter, Uranus, and Moon all in the Taurus, and 3 planets in Aquarius. The child that's born today is awesome.
They'll save the world. They have to save the world.
They might save the world, or at least they might save plastic bags or something like that.
So let's have a look at another one. Which university is better, P or A? All pull cards and C.
It's trying to make us work. Okay. I mean, I got a better hit psychically on A, but let's see.
I got P.
P.
I got the world, so maybe they have to. It's in a different country.
P is good because this is the Ace of Swords.
Is that P?
Yeah, forget about what I say. Who cares what I say?
I mean, A is not terrible. What about you guys?
I got the Ace of.
They're both really good opportunities. They're just opportunities in different ways. P will bring personal growth, whereas A will have something new aspects to it.
Okay.
Those are the hardest decisions sometimes, where both things kind of look good.
There's no negative cards whatsoever.
No, I didn't either. And it's funny because I was just doing a reading for a young man yesterday about picking a university, and I was saying, go to the place where they're more open to who you are, because I think what's going on in the schools now is you make connections that'll last you your whole life.
Yeah.
And he was trying to choose between England and America and New York and California. I said, well, in New York, you'll meet someone for 2 minutes. They'll be inviting you to their house. In England, they won't invite you to your house for 10 years. So
wow.
That was true 10 years ago. I don't know if it's still true. And I don't know if it's true at
reserved, but at university, it's a different kettle of fish. And
right. Well, you have kids, so I don't have children. So I'm
university, everybody's in there together. So it's you make friends on the first day.
Well, and then spend the rest of the year trying to get rid of those friends.
There's a deck for you.
What do you guys get?
The how to get rid of your friends deck.
What did you get,
so
Jane?
I got option A was it'll change that, so the way if you take option A, it's going to change your on a.
Is that A or P?
This is
P was the first
P,
one.
Right, this A. A is going to actually, so A will take you off on a different direction. So it'll actually change your perspectives, and you could actually end up, I would say, possibly changing a course or doing in a different career direction altogether, which isn't a bad thing because it is going to take you on a totally different path.
I can confirm that with the Lenormand.
And option P is really going to allow you to really expand. So in that sense, it's going to offer so much room for expansion within that. It's going to be pretty amazing. So if you want the option of expansion or the option of actually going in a different direction, both are good. It's like salt and pepper, isn't it? Which one you're feeling like at that time?
Fish and chips.
Yeah.
Maria, what did you get?
Yeah, I'm getting very much the same about both being good options and the A also meaning taking an unexpected turn. And it looks like P is the true and tested option, something that's going to work. And what I see is that the equipment is going to also meet people in there that are going to give them a hand, that are going to help them progress into their career path or into their studies. And it is sort of the true and tested way of doing it that brings a lot of positivity into their career. I see that option A is going to take them on a bit of a journey, and what I see is that if they go with this option, they are going to discover something that they are really passionate about but that they did not expect, and this might lead to taking a turn or to making some sort of change when it comes to the path that they had chosen already. So both good options, but different depending on what the priorities are.
Well, I think that was amazing. I got that you'd make more money at A, so by going to A.
Just throw that in.
I'll just throw that in case that's part of the mix, because I got the King of Pentacles for
Oh yeah, I got all pentacles in option P2.
All right. Well, I think we did well there.
I think so too. And in full disclosure, both Amy and I never graduated college, and we've done very well for ourselves. So you don't necessarily have to go at all.
Oh, me neither.
Exactly that. Okay, let's do one more. Let's see what we have and see if we've got a good one for all of us to do.
It's like a cartoon running next to me with like
The dogs are going
and like
crazy.
clouds and fur flying, and I'm like literally by my legs at this point.
I saw. It was great. It was really funny.
It's wild. It's distracting.
They don't like it when someone takes mom away from them, right?
Yes, if you're not honed in and focused on them 100%, the world turns crazy. Absolutely crazy. Okay. Will I be successful in the company if I stay there longer? This is from Jenna.
Okay, so since we're doing the creativity thing.
Okay.
Well, it's funny, but I got time. Oh God. Time can be seen to be both linear and spiral. Circle back to explore. Why isn't the thing in focus?
Pull back.
Sorry. Okay, I'll read it. Time can be seen to be both linear and a spiral. Circle back to explore concepts from the past and create the future. So it definitely means give it time.
Yes, because I get the Princess of Wands, which means she might be a little impetuous, wanting to move on, wanting more action immediately. And I also pulled a card from our intuition oracle, which is the nurturer. I think she doesn't feel like she's getting enough feedback or nurturing from the people around her, to give her clues as to how they think she's doing.
It's very rare to get that kind of nurturing at a workplace, in my experience. Most people are just hanging on by a thread anyway, so they don't have time to kiss your butt, as we say.
Yeah, so don't do anything where you throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Don't be too impetuous and give it time. Is what you get from the enchanted world.
What do you see?
Well, I got fluidity, and it's all about that flow, but it's about an actual, like, a consistent stream of flow. So in that sense, it harnesses what Monty's saying about time as well, in that, you know, to get that flow and to have that momentum, and it constantly, as a constant flow coming through, you do need that essence of time to that. And it's not something that you can be impatient about, because you have to allow it to actually come and begin flowing. So yes, stay where you are.
Bit like Lagos,
Yeah.
that flow.
Gotta allow that
What
flow.
did you get, Maria?
So I got Dogwood Blossoms, and something interesting about this card in this deck, and this is like a fun fact that I learned in while working with this deck, is that apparently it's said that the cross of Jesus was made with the wood of this tree.
Wow.
And the thing is that the telltales that it was cured so that it would not grow large enough for it to be used to make a cross
Maria
again.
has frozen.
Oh, have I frozen? No,
Not,
you have frozen.
I can see you.
Yeah, okay, no, they have frozen.
Yeah.
So the thing is that I feel that there is some sort of cap to the growth that you can have in the company, without that meaning that, without that being opposite to the idea of succeeding. I think that you can succeed here in terms of permanence, in terms of gaining maybe a certain authority in there. And I see that you can go through several transformations within the company and still be there as a valuable employee. The thing is that when it comes to progress or to growth, I believe that there is some sort of cap to what you can achieve. If that is something important, or if that is a deal breaker for you, maybe considering other options would be interesting. If it is not something that you are extremely concerned about because you prefer to have that stability, then it is a form of success that you can count on if you wait in this company.
That was great.
Thank you. They're still frozen.
Is Tony still frozen?
Now we don't know it. Two of us are definitely live, and two of us are
Yeah.
definitely frozen.
Yeah, it's the life and the afterlife over there. Oh yeah.
Everyone's back there. Oh, look at my face.
Tony's
Yeah,
stuck in
you're
the
frozen.
corner.
My internet's frozen, even though we're sat next to one
We
another.
saw,
Oh, that's cool. It just shuffled itself.
oh,
I will get back on now.
I'll mute myself so that it doesn't
No,
go
not
crazy. Not yet.
Okay, I'll do my read on James because obviously my Mac's playing up. I got something slightly different. I got that you have itchy feet and that the need, urge to move is more about you than it is about the place that you work. You aren't entirely happy there. It causes confusion within you, and your instant feeling is that you have to seek something else.
That's like
I wouldn't suggest that you move immediately. I would say allow yourself a little bit of time to come to terms with what it is within you that is making you want to run, and focus on the job at hand. As it is right now, it's not the perfect time for change. I'm still not.
That was cool. Cool.
all tied in.
Okay, now they're gone.
Okay, we've taken over the radio station. The city is out.
Yeah.
The revolution is now.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Maria, you are now the World Divination Association.
Yes, I am the World Divination Association. What a poor choice to make.
Well,
But
at least there's two of us. You could just be standing there talking to yourself, but you're not.
What should we do?
No.
Should we sign?
no, I don't know. Let's give them a couple minutes to see if they sort it, and if now this is supposed to last for like an hour. So
Yeah, so we have 5 minutes. Oh, they left,
Yeah.
so they might be coming back.
yeah, probably they're coming back. Or maybe they know that the dogs chewed the internet cables or something. I wouldn't be surprised.
Can you do a reading for us?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, no pressure at all, but
Can you do it? Yeah. Can you do a reading on our documentary? What should we do to make it the best documentary and get out in the world the right way?
okay, I'm going to use this Zerner Oracle and see what do you need to do to put your documentary out in the world in the best possible way.
We don't, right. Keeping in mind, we don't want to do anything, and we want it to just happen. But we'll take whatever you say as the truth.
Well, actually, and speaking about you don't want to do anything, we have instrument here, which is about self-expression, which is about dancing to your own tune. So I would say that this is actually the perfect approach. Like, do whatever you want to do, show what you are doing in an authentic way for yourselves, because it is true and authentic to who you are and what you are portraying, and don't try to go out of your way to make it something else.
We did. It's done.
You're right.
It just has to be sold. Maybe the question was a little.
No. It's the same thing. It's let Maria. She's right. Let her finish. But I just want to say, Anne Marie. I got confused between Anne Marie, who's our producer and director.
Other Maria.
Exactly. Let her do it.
Authentically.
Because we've done it authentically. Let her do it, and she's made it.
Is that your interpretation? Or?
No, it's whatever Maria says. Whatever you say, Maria, we're going to do it. So
no.
Yeah. Anyway, and relating to this and what you said about having to sell it.
Yes.
Probably. I mean, you are. Maybe I'm fangirling here, okay? But you already sell by being